It's draft day, and there certainly is a different feel around Northeast Ohio this year. No more feeling desperate, looking for a quarterback. No, not since Baker Mayfield arrived. He's the future Browns fans have been waiting for decades. The Browns do not have a pick in tonight's first round, but that's okay. Remember, they moved that pick to get superstar wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. But the Browns still have some holes to fill, and it will be interesting to see the magic that General Manager John Dorsey tries to pull off to make this playoff roster even stronger. And don't forget, there are a lot of talented local kids who are waiting to hear their name called this weekend, too. We'll run through some of those names for you. It's the start of a very different draft weekend in Cleveland, and we're ready to kick it off on a special edition of Donovan Live next. Welcome in, everybody, and we come to you live from Berea, Browns headquarters on the opening night of the NFL Draft. Round number 1 tonight, 2 and 3 tomorrow night, 4, 5, 6, and 7 on Saturday, and in all, the Browns have 8 picks. But right now, they don't have any on the board for tonight in the first round. So that's what's going on in Berea. This is what's going on in Nashville. That is the epicenter of the NFL Draft. Nashville, the Music City, welcoming the NFL as they party galore along the shores of the Cumberland River as they get set to watch the names tick off. The NFL Draft will start a little bit after 8 o'clock with the Arizona Cardinals on the clock. Welcome in, Jim Donovan, along with you on Donovan Live on this rainy Thursday night here in Berea. Let's start with the Cardinals. They're at the top of the board. They were the worst team in the NFL last year, so they get the number 1 pick. Do they go with an Oklahoma quarterback? Is that becoming a tradition now in the NFL? Baker Mayfield last year, and this little guy maybe this year. Kyler Murray, the center fielder turned quarterback. Remember, he had the baseball money from the Oakland A's, but he decided around NFL Combine time that he wanted to play football, and why not? He had a great year. He had Oklahoma, and so he took the Sooners to the college football playoffs, and now it looks to be his night to be the number 1 overall draft pick in this year's NFL Draft. Let's go to the top 5. Here's the way the board sets up. Arizona at number 1, and then the San Francisco 49ers at number 2. The New York Jets with all kinds of hints that they wouldn't mind trading out of that pick, but right now they sit at number 3. The Oakland Raiders will be the story tonight. They sit at number 4, but remember, in all, they have 3 picks in the first round. Will they use them all? Will they trade one of them? We'll see what happens with John Gruden and Mike Mayock teaming up to run the Raiders, and then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the top 5 at number 5. Let's get a flavor of what it's like in Nashville, Tennessee on the opening night of the NFL Draft. And to do that for us, here's Luis Fernandez.
For the first time ever, Nashville, Tennessee is the center of the football world. Hey everyone, the 2019 NFL Draft is here. The main stage is behind me. It's like Christmas Day, your birthday, and the Super Bowl all mixed into one. The Oakland Raiders lead the pack with 3 picks in the first round. The rain is starting to fall. Trades are always an option. It's going to be a wild ride. Make sure you buckle up. But as for right now, Arizona, you're on the clock. In Nashville, Tennessee, I'm Luis Fernandez.
Thanks for that. Now back here in Berea, remember, back on March 12th, the Browns traded away their number 1 pick, which would have been number 17 in the first round. That went to the New York Giants. John Dorsey pulled off the mega deal, probably bigger than any deal that could happen tonight when he acquired Odell Beckham Jr. from the New York Giants. But there's still a shopping list for the Browns when they make their picks in this year's NFL Draft. What should they do? Tonight is a whole new experience for all of us here in Browns Nation. It's opening night of the NFL Draft, and we are spectators along with the Browns. John Dorsey made his first-round pick back on March 12th when he traded for Odell Beckham Jr. of the New York Giants. It was a sign that Dorsey was putting all of his chips in the middle of the table and saying, we're ready to win right now. No more waiting around. We have the quarterback. Let's give him everything he needs to win. So here comes OBJ. Because of that bravado, We'll wait until Friday's second round and pick number 49. And you ask, what do the Browns need? At some point, and it may be at pick 49, the Browns need a cornerback. Denzel Ward enters his second year, but if the Browns learned anything from his rookie year, it was that you need depth at cornerback, and they needed a little bit more of it last year. As great as Ward was and is going to be, remember, he was injured on 3 different occasions. He's not the biggest corner. Plus, if you get a corner here, now you'll have 2 young cornerbacks in your secondary, and they'll be together for a long time. The last game of the season in Baltimore last year showed a weakness in the middle of the Browns' defense. The Ravens, if you remember, ran right through the Browns' linebackers, and that's a problem. So this weekend, the Browns must try and find a run-stuffing linebacker to help Joe Schobert. It's a must if you're going to be characterized as a great defense. Where there's smoke, there's fire, and there's fire around Duke Johnson. He's sending off signals that he's not happy with his role in the Browns offense. So I think the Browns have been trying to trade the Duke and are still trying to do it. And if they do, they'll need to add a running back at some point over the weekend. Finally, I'm not sure the Browns are totally sold on their tackles, Greg Robinson and Chris Hubbard. Now, they're fine for the present time, but look for a big tackle, left or right, to be on the wish list of Dorsey before this draft is over. And there you have it, a pre-draft shopping list for the Browns. So, what a difference a year makes. Last year, on the opening night of the NFL Draft, we were here, it was sunny, and the Browns had all kinds of picks, number 1 and number 4. Mary Kay Cabot was with us from Cleveland.com, the outstanding Browns beat writer, and had a Baker Mayfield bandana on that show. Tonight, it is raining. We have no pick in the first round, but the team is in such better shape. But John Dorsey is a wheeler dealer. Mary Kay, what are you hearing about efforts to get into the first round?
Well, I think he will try. I think he wants to make a splash. I think he would love to try to move up and find an impact player in this draft. He's been so aggressive since the moment he set foot in Berea in December of 2017. He's not going to stop right now. He's not going to let that first round go by without at least trying.
Now, I'm going to throw a stat at you that I heard today, that he's been involved in 6 different drafts, at other spots besides Cleveland, and he's made 18 trades in regards to draft choices, some on draft night, so he is a wheeler dealer. Okay. If they do go up into the first round, do you believe they are absolutely targeting a player to get up there?
Well, one player I know they really like a lot is that defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons from Mississippi State. He's raved about him off the field. He's raved about him on the field, even though he has had some character concerns,
right,
and even though he'll have to redshirt next year because of a torn ACL. He really likes him. I could see him going up to get him.
Okay, now, the number to watch there is, it's believed they'd have to get in front of the Indianapolis Colts, who are 26, because they seem, at least on a lot of mock drafts, to be the team that is targeting him and would accept, as Mary Kay pointed out, that you redshirt him for a year because of the ACL tear. I just pointed out in a piece just as you were coming on that I thought the Browns last year, at some points, it got scary in the secondary because of injuries. Denzel Ward was hurt. Terrence Mitchell broke his wrist. Kerry and Gaines went out. What about cornerback? Do they need cornerbacks?
They do. That is absolutely another position that they could target. And if some of those good cornerbacks fall into that back half of the first round, there is a chance that they could target a player like that as well. Because, like as you said, Jeffrey Simmons could be gone. I mean, the Eagles at 25 have been rumored to be interested. The Colts again at 26, although maybe there's a deal to be had there between John Dorsey and Chris Ballard, the GM of the Colts. But cornerback is definitely another position, and there are plenty of good ones.
Let's go to Duke Johnson, because Duke Johnson has made it clear that he's not happy with his role, or what he thinks his role is going to be in the Browns offense. May want to be traded. Hasn't been to the voluntary workouts yet. There has been discussions that they had deals on the table for Duke Johnson, but didn't get the compensation they wanted. Is he a Brown at the end of the weekend?
You know, I think, let me say no right now, just because I think enough teams will probably be interested that they might be able to swing a deal. Now, they're not going to just give him away. They want to get good value for him. He's a good player, not only in the run game, but obviously in the pass game too. but he could be packaged with a couple of picks maybe, or another pick from next year or something to move up into that first round.
Real quickly before you go, linebacker. Do they need help at linebacker?
I think they do. I still think they do need help at linebacker. I don't know that they would trade up to get one because some of the best ones will go, I think, in the top 10. But at some point in this draft, I believe they will draft a linebacker.
Again, what a different feel here in Berea, and it's not just the weather, it's just the competency of the football team from where they were 1 year ago. Mary Kay, as always, thanks a lot. Read her in Cleveland.com. When we come back, do they need help along the offensive line? We go to the offensive lineman, Doug Deacon, when Donovan Live continues.
Channel 3 News at 7. Donovan Live is made possible by the Calvetta Brothers Floor Show. It's time to fall in love again with your home.
It's the Ganley Toyota 34-hour sale. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Prices posted. See your savings up to $8,300 off. Buy with 0% 60-month financing. Or just sign and drive any new 2019 Toyota. Like the 2019 Tacoma SR Double Cab 4x4. $212 a month with zero due at signing. Hurry. Our 34-hour sale ends Sunday, 5 p.m. at Ganley Toyota on East Market Street, Akron. GanleyToyota.com.
Well, there's where it's all happening tonight and all weekend long. Nashville, Tennessee, and they're very excited down there to have the NFL draft. And it's been a booming success when they've taken it out of New York into Chicago, into Philadelphia, and to Dallas. And now here they are in Nashville, Tennessee. We'd love to get a crack at that. The Grand Ole Opry showing up down there in Nashville. It's always fun when we go down there and the Browns take on the Tennessee Titans. And we'll be down there. Of course, they'll be here on the opening day of the season, but when we've gone down there, it's always been a great trip. Here we are with Doug Deacon. This is like the old 8 a.m. pregame shows, wasn't it, when we would do those?
I feel like Mary Poppins.
The second one wasn't very good. I think you could have auditioned for that and done better. All right, let's go to the Browns offensive line. Were you surprised when, before they got Odell Beckham Jr., a couple of days before that, they got Olivier Vernon from the Giants at the cost of Kevin Zeitler leaving? Were you surprised they moved Zeitler?
No, not really. He had a big contract, and, for the amount of money they were paying him, it's kind of like the Jamie Collins. Probably wasn't getting the best bang for your buck.
All right, so Zeitler is gone. He was a big get when they got him. I mean, Hugh Jackson came on as the head coach of the team, and the Browns felt two things. They were getting a really good guard, and number two, they were hurting a team inside their own division.
Yeah, but they also got Corbett in the draft. So all of a sudden they decided that, it's time for him to move in and play.
So let's talk about Austin Corbett, because everybody was wondering when they got him last year, how are they going to get him in the lineup? Because the offensive line was pretty good. Treader held down the center spot amazingly, heroically on a high ankle sprain all year long. So he couldn't go to center. They tried him at tackle a little bit in training camp, and then he went to guard, and now he is the right guard. How do you think he's going to fare there?
Well, I think he'll do okay, because when you're a guard, you're protected on both sides. You're not playing on an island. And when you get out to the left tackle, that's a different world. So I think, either the center or the guard position is where he's going to find a home, and I think obviously it's going to be the right guard.
Doug, Greg Robinson came in and did a great job at the left tackle spot, and really the offense kind of settled down once he got in there. And then Chris Hubbard got better and better the more he played last year at right tackle. Are they happy with those tackles?
Yeah, I think they are. I think the key to that, though, is the protection got better because the quarterback got better. He got rid of the football quicker. And if you look at the Peyton Mannings and the Tom Bradys and how quick they get rid of the football, their protection is usually pretty good.
So tell me about a guy that we saw at the beginning of camp last year that wowed everybody. Undrafted rookie free agent left tackle Desmond Harrison, who won the job coming out of training camp. And then, he lost the job to Robinson.
Well, yeah, and I don't think, it's a case where, I think Robinson was dinged a little bit, so they put him in. But when you go from West Georgia to the NFL, that's
right.
A pretty big jump in 1 year. And he's a young kid that needs some work on the weight in the weight room. He wasn't strong enough. He started getting bull rushed quite a bit. And I just think that, I said, hey, let's sit him down. We got somebody that's played here in the league. And Robinson came in and did a great job.
So I'm kind of getting the feeling, because then they added depth in free agency. They got guys that could swing and do different things, that maybe, offensive line, it's not an urgency for them to get a pick in this draft.
No, I don't think so. I think that would be probably one of the least places they would go in the draft. I think you've got to look in the defensive side of the ball in the back seven.
Okay, so that's what we're looking at right right now. Doug, as always, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Doug Deacon joining us, my partner on the Browns Radio Network. Right after our second time on, when we come back, how Cleveland airport workers are getting paid after a virus took down their payroll systems. And Betsy's forecast. And I'm thinking right now, rain might be in that forecast when we continue. And we're back on Donovan Live. Time to take a left turn right now and get today's top stories. Betsy Kling has tonight's 77 seconds at 7.
Tonight, we've learned that despite Cleveland Hopkins Airport payroll systems getting hit by a virus, payday will still come on time. Airport payroll operations have been moved to City Hall. It could take days or even weeks to rebuild the airport's on-site systems. Today marks 5 years since the start of the Flint, Michigan water crisis. It started when the city changed water sources, but the water wasn't properly treated, poisoning residents. To this day, officials are still trying to fix the crisis, and residents are warned to avoid unfiltered tap water. Former Vice President Joe Biden made it official today he is running for president. He becomes the 20th Democrat to join the race, which is important because the primary debate stage is limited to 20 participants across 2 nights. Biden is coming out of the gate, framing his campaign as a, quote, battle for the soul of this nation.
The end is near.
And it's opening night for Avengers Endgame, directed by Cleveland born and raised brothers Joe and Anthony Russo. It's the culmination of 21 prior films in the interconnected Marvel Comics line of movies. Thousands of showings are sold out across the country, with the film taking up most of the screens at every major theater. Analysts think the movie could make $1 billion within the first week.
Betsy, everybody is out. They were out at like the wee hours of the morning lining up to get tickets to go see that. That's when you know you got a mega hit on your hands.
And it is definitely going to be a mega hit. Those shows are sold out. That's all anybody is talking about in the newsroom, the Avengers movie and the Browns picks. So certainly there's plenty going on. There's a lot of folks that have been chatting about the weather, too. And thank you for the observations out there, Jimmy, with your umbrella. Very timely. Really appreciate that. Nothing like ground confirmation of what's going on. Here's a look at what we are expecting for the rest of the night. Yeah, more of that rain to come down. Periods of heavy rain a possibility, and temperatures hanging right about 60. We've seen some of the yellows, some of the oranges starting to flare up in these rain showers. That's an indication of heavier rain that's moving in. We may get a few rumbles of thunder from time to time, but generally speaking, all of this is moving south to north through northern Ohio as we have a big push of energy that's going to be coming in. Not only is that going to continue to bring rain our way, but that's also going to enhance that rain. So periods of heavy rain still a possibility tonight. And then we also have the rain that continues into tomorrow morning. So periodic rain showers, maybe those rumbles of thunder through the 11 o'clock hour as temperatures are going to be holding on the warm side of things. To start the day tomorrow, it will be windy. Winds cranking out of the south. That helps to hold the temperatures up. That's also bringing that energy in. It's not a complete washout, just like today. We'll have dry periods, but as we get into the afternoon, a cold front from the west will sweep in. And while we may see peaks of sun, more notably, the winds will change and cooler air will be driving our way by the time we hit Friday evening and then head into what is going to be, I think, mostly a dry Saturday. So that's a great start to the weekend in Universal Windows Direct Forecast. 60 with the temperatures falling in the afternoon on Friday, then 50s with the showers around on Saturday night into Sunday morning. Then we're going to dry out by Sunday evening. Monday looks like we could have some hit or miss shower chances. And then, Jimmy, temperatures are going to be warming up as we head through next week. The good news is, Jimmy, I have my new orange dress on. I know you can't see it, but I've been shopping for new Victory Monday dresses. I'm ready.
Boy, and there will be a lot of those, so you're going to have a number of those throughout the regular season. It will be fun to watch that as it progresses, and the wins, too.
That's right. There's that, too.
When we come back, we are rooting for all of the local kids, and I'm telling you, that's a big number, who are going to have their names called, and they'll become NFL players this weekend. We'll talk about that when we return.
Here's what's coming up tonight on Channel 3, brought to you by the Nuremberg Paris Injury Lawyers, proudly celebrating 90 years fighting for the injured.
There's a look at our WKYC.com digital team. They're ready to go. They picked up the baton from me, 7:30. They'll be on all night long covering this draft at WKYC.com. The local talent, just a great bunch of kids. Let's go through them and wish them the best. We'll start with the big defensive lineman out of St. Ignatius, Draymond Jones. Great career with the Ohio State Buckeyes. Probably going to be drafted tomorrow. Could be to the Browns. Wide receiver Paris Campbell from Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's. Great career with Ohio State. One of the top wide receivers overall in the draft. He could go tonight, middle of the first round. Defensive back Justin Lane from Benedictine High School. Great career at Michigan State. The Browns love him, but would he last till number 49? He could go late first round or early second round, or he could stay home and play here in Cleveland, which would delight him. Wide receiver Andy Isabella, what a story. Mayfield High School, tremendous speed, tremendous hands. He played at UMass, played for Mark Whipple, the former Browns quarterback coach. He could be an early second-round draft choice coming up tomorrow. Tight end C.J. Conrad played his college ball at Kentucky from LaGrange out of Keystone High School. When drafted, he'll be the first NFL player to hail from LaGrange. We wish them all the best of luck tonight, all weekend long, and in their NFL careers. That's it. We'll have you covered all night long. WKYC.com, Channel 3 News at 11. Have a good night, everybody.